The Texas Trio is back, and we're talking about the 1836 Project, a special committee created by state lawmakers. Now, the purpose, according to the language in HB 2497, is to introduce new and younger Texans to the Lone Star State and promote the state history. Warts and all, one committee member said this past Tuesday during a hearing. Of course, history has shown that the issue in dealing with history is all about who's writing it, which is why my word was apprehension. Greg, another word, motivation. That kind of applies, right?
Well, absolutely. But full disclosure, I'm a native-born son of the Lone Star State and embrace its history, warts and all. In the 187 years that have elapsed since 1836, there's no question that despicable human bondage, race-based mass murder, and systemic racism remain unignorable legacies never to be repeated. Now, that said, 19th century Texas was a violent, unforgiving frontier which chewed up the weak and rewarded only those strong enough to prevail in what was literally a fight for survival and dominance. Virtue signaling critics from their 21st century high ground are calling this pamphlet a revisionist whitewash, and there's likely some merit to that claim. But I think what sticks in my craw and many other Texans is the serial demand that we perpetually apologize for the actions of long past generations while downplaying the extraordinary collective achievement and pride that is Texas, home of the world's 8th biggest economy and plenty of opportunity for all, regardless of ancestry.
Yeah, a lot of good, a lot of bad. 175,000 pamphlets printed up, and lawmakers allocated $75,000 a year to print more. I've read the pamphlets, and they didn't seem to be somewhat of a whitewash, like some critics have claimed, that Greg mentioned. Stephen, during the hearing, Chairman Frazier says that these days it seems you just can't have a friendly conversation about what Texas means, what it meant, where it's going. He thinks the committee can help change that, but I think that's a tall order. What do you think?
It is, and that's why I use the word impossible. They're not going to be able to please everyone now, and even Greg mentioned that some of this may be a way of trying to maneuver and tell a different story. A pamphlet is not going to be a place where you're going to be able to tell warts and all, tell all the story of Texas. That's just not possible. You're not going to be able to talk about every specific race that lives in this melting pot state. And so I use the word impossible because you're not going to please everyone. And granted, how many people are actually going to read this? Let's be honest.
Yeah, a lot of the new drivers, though, right? The plan is to hire an executive director for this project, about starting around $80K a year. Committee member Jerry Patterson said during the hearing that he wants the 1836 project to aggressively go after what he described as misinformation. He thinks they can do a better job than state agencies. Greg, I think that this could turn the idea of bridge building into bridge burning. What do you think?
Rudy, like our state, our history is too big and complex for a pamphlet. Exhibit A of Show and Tell, Stephen Harrigan's 800-page volume, Big Wonderful Thing. That said, I know Senator Patterson. He loves Texas deeply and has a pretty firm grasp of the many sins committed during its evolution, and I don't think he'd suppress them. What's needed during this process is a heaping helping of context and even-handedness, or as Ann Richards would have likely advised, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. The history of Texas has never been a group hug and probably never will be, and yet many African Americans have persevered and prospered here. Latinos form the core of our state's population and its future, and the number of Asian Texans is rising rapidly along with their success. So as to bridge building, burning, well, I'd say those looking for upfront apologies or a spotless past might ought to consider moving to Vermont.
Hey, Stephen, real quick, the plan is to get the material in like a game-like format to make it fun, but I think that could be a new battlefront on the Texas textbook war. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, somebody can challenge this in court and say this is a textbook being given by the state. So we'll be discussing this for months to come, I believe.
And we'll close the book on this issue for now. You can see the interview or any of our past interviews by going to our YouTube pages.
And visit our social media sites to continue the conversation.
Next week, we'll dive into the toxic back and forth between Republicans under the dome in Austin. Special Session 4 is wrapping up. Will there be a fifth? We'll see you next week. Let us know what you think the issue is.